Good day everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the two history books, the Torrentera and the Philippine history source book. First I'm going to tackle about the five lessons in the Torrentera. So the first lesson is the introduction to the Philippine history. So it is about the history, which is the study of past events, while historians seek to understand the present by examining the past. Historical writing or historiography impacts meanings and value to a particular group of people about their past. The traditional methods involve gathering documents, but modern historical writing also incorporates research methods from related areas such as archaeology and geography. So, in the lesson 2, in the Philippine Islands, the writer describes the native people found in various parts of Luzon Islands as people who have dark skin, woolly hair, and are not very tall but are strong. They live as nomads, moving from one place to another according to the season. They grow rice and consume honey and roots from the mountains. However, they are considered barbarians and cannot be trusted as they often attack settlements and commit predations. So in lesson 3, the Manunggul jar is a secondary burial jar from the Neolithic site in Palawan, Philippines, dating back to 890 to 710 BC. The jar features two prominent figures on its cover, representing the soul's journey to the afterlife. It is considered a masterpiece and is designated as a national treasure housed at the Museum of the Filipinos People, made from clay and sand soil. So in Lesson 4, the Laguna copper plate inscription is an official acquittance inscribed onto a copper plate in the Shaka in the year 822. It is the earliest known calendar dated document found within the Philippines Islands. The plate was found in 1989 by a laborer near the mouth of the Lumbag River in Wawa, Lumban, Laguna in the Philippines. The inscription was mainly written in Old Malay using the early Kawi script, with a number of technical Sanskrit words and Old Japanese or Old Tagalog honorifics. After it was found, the text was first translated in 1991 by Anton Postma, a Dutch anthropologist and Hanost Oscript researcher. The inscription documents the existence and names of several surrounding states as of AD 900, such as the Tagalog city-state of Tondo. Some historians associate the Tipunim Medang in this inscription with reference to the Medang Palace in Java at that time, although the name is a common vocabulary of Mayo-Polynesian. So in lesson 5, the duties of the Katipunan, this decalogue, which was never published during Bonifacio's lifetime but is now widely read, is etched on monuments and is printed on textbooks. The structure in which Bonifacio lays out the responsibilities of clan members is undoubtedly derived from the Old Testaments, and the directives themselves are reminiscent of the Programa Masonica and Código Masónico of the Gran Orient Español. The Código, for example, begins with a similar exhortation to praise the Creator and extols kindness and love to one's fellow human being. It too commands lodge members to maintain composure, to be guided by reason, and to stand one by one another even at the expense of one's life. And it also warns the members who disobey their duties will be treated as such. The Katipunan was created in the Revolution of Filipinos from Spain. So, in the Philippine History Source Book, the pre-16th century. So, this topic is about the pre-16th century Philippine history. The sections discuss historical and archaeological research on specific subjects with relations to the Philippines. The opening passages is taken from an article by archaeologist Armand talking about the first discoveries of Pia Blanca Calao Cave in Cagayan with his crew, Salvador Mijares. These discoveries would later serve as the basis for designating the human remains as the Luzonensis Homo. Nowadays, this is recognized as a species of Homo, establishing the Philippines as a location in the historical timeline of human development. The second passage is taken from the archaeologist Eusebio Dizon's team's article on the human remains from Palawan's Tabon Cave, discovered by the archaeologists in the 1960s. So, 16th to 18th century. This is a 10 passage from a book about the history of the Philippines from the 16th to the 18th century in different Spanish written documents. The reading's central theme is the circumstance or the happenings from the timeline of the first meeting to their behavior near the end of the 18th century. This made way for various advances of the 19th century. Despite being in Spanish missionaries' rule, the content depicts Filipino culture and daily life during the Spanish era, also known as the era of colonialism. The first is an excerpt from the Costumbres de los Tagalogos by Plasencia, which describe the many daily aspects of Tagalog life. The laws regarding is then translated briefly after this. The Philippines and the New World's usage of the reductions technique. So, in 19th century, in this topic, the Philippines saw the end of the galleon trade leading to economic, political, and socio-cultural changes. The middle class merged but poverty persisted. These changes led to the formation of reformist and revolutionary groups, ultimately leading to Spanish control. In 1896, the Philippine Revolution is about the tension growing between the Filipino and Spanish, leading to revolution led by the Katipunan under the guidance of Bonifacio. So in conclusion, I can see similarities between each book, between the Torrentera and the Philippine historical reading. For example, is the lesson 5 of the Torrentera, which is about the Katipunan, the duties of the Katipunan. It was said that Katipunan was created in the Revolution of Filipinos from Spain, which is similar to the Philippine History Source Book, the 1896 Philippine Revolution. It is also about the tension growing between the Filipino and Spanish, leading to the revolution led by the Katipunan under the guidance of Bonifacio. So, even though these books are separate, they still hold similarities because these books are created based on the Philippine history. So, in my understanding, there are different interpretations of uh, what happened to the Philippines back then, from each different books,